Hello, friends, and welcome to Julie's the Author. Today we are back with another reacting to my unhauls because I can. I literally just got done filming the first one, which I'm sure has come out before this because 1, 2, that's how it goes. I've got 16 of these. We're going to keep reacting because I am very curious. Like I said in the first one, if you have not seen that, I will link it above, down below, somewhere maybe. Or you can just go back on my channel and figure it out because I haven't put up that many videos recently. But I have a whole lot more shelf space now, and I'm curious if I regret any of my unhauls. So I've been reacting to my old ones. This one is from, I can tell you, January, February, March, April. This one is from April 10th of 2017, which is approximately 4 months after my last one that I did. And this one is a lot shorter. I think it's only about 6 minutes. So we're just going to see what I unhauled and why, and whether or not I regret them and want them back on my shelves. In which case, I have some Pango money. I can always buy them and get them again. But I think that's one of the reasons that a lot of people say they don't want to unhaul books is they might regret it. I didn't regret a single one in the last one, spoiler alert. So I don't think I'm going to regret any in this one, but I'm curious what I got rid of. I didn't remember a single book in the first one. We are going to react to my second unhaul.
Hi everybody, it is Julie. Welcome back to Pages and Pens. Today I am here with a book unhaul. I have books in front of me. They need to get sold back to a used bookstore because they're not working for me. Now I want to remind you.
The angle, the brows.
Just because I don't like these books doesn't mean you can't like these books. And just because I'm unhauling these books does not mean that the authors are horrible or stupid or poorly written. It's a lot of these I read, a lot of these enjoyed. I just know that I'm not going to reread them, and I have very limited shelf space, and I want everything on my shelf to make me genuinely, joyfully happy. I think some of these are going to be controversial. Some of these might piss you off. I'm sorry, and just I'm sorry. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I listened to this in audiobook and did not.
Okay, so first of all, I love the disclaimer. I did the same thing in my last one. I feel like disclaimers are a thing of the past. Nobody bothers doing them anymore because everybody understands kind of intrinsically these kinds of things. I did not like this book. I fell asleep actively multiple times during the audiobook, and I don't think reading it physically would have helped. It's not my jam.
Love it. I liked it fine. I think I gave it 4 stars. So it was okay. It was whatever, but I didn't love it. I didn't fall in love with it the way.
Yeah, no, I lied. I lied to all of you. I don't think I gave it 4 stars, or I may have, but out of fear
that everybody else seemed to. And frankly, if I ever reread this, it will not be a mass market paperback. Like I can't. I won't. Also getting rid of this random book that I found. This is Salem Falls by Jodi Picoult. I read this forever ago. I couldn't tell you anything about it. This is actually not in like fantastic shape, and it used to be a library book, so I don't know if I can actually sell this back or if I'll just have to donate it somewhere. Regardless, it's not staying here. I'm
not even sure that I read that at any point. I don't know where it came from, but I can't recall ever having read it. I don't regret unhauling either of them.
Also getting rid of Breathe by Anne-Sophie Brasme. Anyway, this one was made into a motion picture. It's a super short book, like shorter than Every Heart a Doorway, about 2 friends. It's being written by a girl in jail because she murdered her friend. You know that from like the beginning. I thought it was going to be like way better than it was, and it just wasn't. It wasn't anything spectacular. I don't think I'm ever going to read it again, so I'm just going to get rid of it. Also,
I don't regret that. And seeing that this is Words of Ink and Shadow, that was an Owlcrate book, and I didn't ever read it.
Getting rid of an old Owlcrate book that I never read and I just don't feel compelled to pick up. This one is a Bronte sisters fictionalization, and I've never read anything by the Bronte sisters, so I don't really want to read a fictionalization before I read their real works. This is Worlds of Ink and Shadow.
Not only does that stand true, I don't really like the idea of reading something that's an interpretation of without reading the original, but I also never intend on reading the original. You know, that was a good choice.
By Lena Coakley. I'm never going to read it. Another Owlcrate book, and I don't know where the dust jacket is Da Vinci's Tiger, which I did read and just did not like. This one is about Da Vinci and the potential inspiration for the Mona Lisa. No,
it was actively not great. It was not great. So no, I don't regret that.
Also getting rid of Facet in the Night by Sarah Porter, which was another Owlcrate book. I tried to read this. I got about 20 pages in. Honestly, just can't force myself. This is a Russian folktale retelling, and I can't do it. Does have a signed book plate in there. Somebody will hopefully love this, but I'm not going to force myself to read.
There were so many early Owlcrate books that were just misses for me. So many. Yeah, I don't regret getting rid of that.
That's sad. It's a good number of like Owlcrate books that I just did not get into. So I'm going to get rid of those. Also getting rid of Dare Me by Megan Abbott because this was garbage. I know a lot of people really like Megan Abbott, and this is, I think, all I've ever read by her. But this glorified eating disorders and hateful relationships between high school girls and was a weird murder mystery, and there was like a faked rape. I can't get behind this.
I actively dislike that book with all of my being. I don't regret getting rid of that.
Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour, which hurts my heart because this is one of the most beautiful covers and I love the look of this book and it had so much potential. This is a female-female romance, but the majority of this is about this girl's involvement in film industry and set dressing. I could not have cared less about the set dressing and finding the right couch for a scene. I just didn't believe that she was like this young high schooler that was this involved in the movie business already. And I don't live in LA, so I don't know how that works, but I didn't like it. And I thought I was going to. I didn't even like the romance in it. I'm also getting rid of
Yeah. So I stand by that. And it stinks because I think I forget what else by Nina LaCour at this point, but that one was just, it was a miss for me. And it had all of the makings for something that I would have liked, but didn't. And this Everbound, I'm relatively certain I read these in audiobook. They were very typical YA paranormal romance from that time, like, I don't know, early 2000s or something. I was never going to reread them and they weren't going to be like prized books on my shelves. So there was certainly not shelf space to keep those, and I don't regret that.
Everbound by Brody Ashton. This, not because it's bad. I ordered 2 of these instead of the first, second, and third book. I ordered 2, 2, and 3. I'm going to get rid of this one because this one was a scratch and dent, and the other one is still new. So I just ordered 2 of these, so I'm going to get rid of that one. Now is where we start getting angry at Julie. In my last unhaul, which I will link up above, I unhauled book.
I unhauled that because it was a repeat. Since then, I had listened to all of them on audiobook, and then I've gotten rid of all of them. So I don't know if I ever purchased the first one or if I just listened to the audiobook and then listened to the audiobooks of 2 and 3 and then just unhauled 2 and 3. I don't know. I guess we'll see in a future unhaul because I don't have them still. So at some point they were unhauled. Let's see what's going to make everybody mad.
Books 4 and 5 of this series. Now I'm unhauling books 1, 2, and 3. Not because I didn't enjoy them, because I was complete trash for them. I flew through them and did enjoy them, but because I know I'm never going to read them again and they're not worth keeping around. Ooh. If I'm not going to read them again. I'm getting rid of the Selection series by Kira Cass. Selection, The Elite, and The One, 1, 2, and 3. I liked America and Maxon. I liked this story. I was completely on board for it, and they're beautiful. They look gorgeous on a shelf, but I don't have enough shelf space to really display these. And I didn't like them enough to keep them just because they're...
I literally said in the last one when I got rid of the second part of the series, which didn't need to exist, I stand by that, that those were fine. The first 3 were fine. And I did enjoy them at the time that I read them, but I knew that I had unhauled them and I didn't know when in the unhaul series that was going to happen. Apparently about 4 months after the first one. Again, they were all the rage at that point on booktube, but I regret nothing.
They're pretty. Also getting rid of Red Queen and Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard. I will probably read King's Cage, but I will get it from my library.
No, I did not. Spoiler alert, friends. No, she didn't. I don't remember having strong feelings one way or the other about them, but I knew with certainty they were not going to be favorites. And I knew with certainty that I just didn't care enough to keep them on my shelves. Again, given the limited shelf space that I had, and I would not repurchase them. So I made good life choices.
And I don't think I'm ever going to buy the third one because I didn't like these enough to like reread the series. I won't keep books 1 and 2 if I'm not going to ever get the third one. So these are going to go, and I'll just get King's Cage at some point from the library. Similarly, and please don't hate me, these are the last books I'm getting rid of. I am getting rid of Cinder, Scarlet, and Cress. I don't own Winter, and I don't feel the need to buy Winter just to complete this collection. I didn't like Fairest, and I didn't like Stars Above. I'm not ever going to own this entire collection, and I'm never going to reread it because I would have to reread it starting with Cinder, and I hated Cinder. I really didn't like Cress and Thorn either, The only people in this book that I really care to follow are Aiko and Scarlet and Wolf. I'm not going to just keep Scarlet's book. I'm just going to get rid of these because I've read them and I don't need them for tags and stuff like that. I can just insert a picture. It's just, again, it's a space thing. It's an I'm not going to reread thing. They're beautiful. They would look great displayed. I'm not ever going to read these again. So they're going to go.
Yeah, that was the last one, right? So those were the last books. I'm not going to force you to watch my outro. In no way, shape, or form am I sad that I don't have those on my shelves. Again, I have a little bit of shelf space left, but I would not repurchase them and put them on my shelves. Second unhaul, I don't miss. Did you guys know that Macs do this now? Because this, I mean, yeah, thumbs up. Yeah, how about this one? Yeah. Did you know that the computer does that now? Because it does. I didn't know this. And I did this in one of my writing sprints, and things started happening, and I nearly lost my mind because I didn't know that was something that my computer did. That's going to be the second unhaul and another great life choice. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this series. The next unhaul that I did was October 7th of that year of 2017. So thank you for watching. If you would have kept any of these books, let me know down below. And until then, bye friends.